This guy feels like an AI robot that escaped from a lab. His forehead couldn't get any bigger with all the personal data he is storing into it. And let's be real, that data was not collected voluntarily. Ladies and gentlemen, gather around as we take a deep dive into the life of Mark Zuckerberg, tech overlord, privacy nightmare, and the only billionaire who looks like he's buffering in real life. From his humble beginnings to his world-dominating social network, we're covering it all, roasting included. So grab your tinfoil hats and prepare to feel just a little bit more violated than usual. Born on May 14, 1984 in White Plains, New York, Mark Elliott Zuckerberg came into this world with one mission: to make sure your grandma knows what you had for lunch. Raised in Dobbs Ferry, New York, where the pizzas are a hit or miss, Mark was the classic overachiever. Except instead of playing sports, he was busy coding while other kids were discovering social skills. Ironically, the guy who made the biggest social network of all time was probably the last kid picked for dodgeball. By the age of 12, he had already developed a messaging program called ZuckNet for his dad's dental office. Yeah, while most of us were still figuring out how to not eat glue, Mark was out here revolutionizing dental appointment scheduling. Talk about a nerd flex. It's almost like he was speed-running childhood so he could get straight to collecting our data as soon as possible. Fast forward to high school, and our boy Zuck was out there reading college-level programming books for fun. He attended Phillips Exeter Academy, which is basically a school where future politicians and tech moguls are manufactured in a factory setting. At this point, it was clear Mark wasn't like the rest of us. While we were out playing Neopets and RuneScape, he was probably figuring out how to harvest user data from Neopets. It's like he was genetically engineered to be a Silicon Valley villain. Ah, Harvard. The Ivy League kingdom of future presidents, lawyers, world-dominating tech bros, and also the school that Lil Pump went to, but dropped out because he would rather make repetitive rap flows. Mark got into Harvard in 2002, where he studied psychology and computer science, because nothing screams, "Trust me with your personal data," like that combo. During his sophomore year, Mark created FaceMash, a website that lets students compare and rate each other's looks. Because clearly, Harvard students didn't have enough reasons to judge each other already. Unsurprisingly, Harvard shut it down because of privacy concerns, a foreshadowing of his entire career. But Mark wasn't done violating privacy laws just yet. If anything, this was his villain origin story. In 2004, from his dirty little Harvard dorm room, he launched the Facebook, originally designed as an exclusive social networking site for college students. Little did we know this was the beginning of the end for our collective attention spans. The moment Zuckerberg pressed launch, we unknowingly signed up for an eternity of ugly baby pictures, engagement announcements that shortly ended in divorces, no-good lunches, and unsolicited dumbass political opinions from relatives we haven't spoken to in eons. Facebook exploded, expanding to other universities than the general public, and before you knew it, boom, every single person's embarrassing teenage photos were now stored on a billionaire's server. By 2007, Facebook was valued at $15 billion, and Mark was officially in the club of super-rich people who still dress like they buy their clothes in bulk at Costco. By 2012, Facebook had 1 billion users, and Zuckerberg took the company public. That IPO made him an instant multi-billionaire, proving once and for all that knowing how to code can, in fact, be more lucrative than a traditional personality. Mark became one of the youngest self-made billionaires in history, all while maintaining the charisma of a damp SpongeBob. Of course, with great power comes great responsibility. Or in Zuck's case, a complete disregard for privacy. Over the years, Facebook has been at the center of multiple data privacy scandals. Remember Cambridge Analytica? Yeah, that little incident where Facebook accidentally let a shady political consulting firm harvest data from millions of users to influence elections? Oopsie. If Facebook were a person, it would be that friend who promises not to tell your secrets and then immediately broadcasts them in a group chat. I remember they tried to cover up the allegations by releasing an ad saying that they care about your privacy and they invest so much money to protect it. Yeah, sure, Zuck. Whatever helps you sleep at night. And then there's the infamous congressional hearings, where Zuck had to explain how the internet works to a room full of politicians who still use AOL email addresses. Watching him answer questions was like watching an alien try to blend into human society. The man blinks like he's running on 5% battery at all times. Let's be real, if there's one person who could actually be a highly sophisticated AI experiment gone wrong, it's Mark Zuckerberg. But wait, in 2021, he decided that Facebook wasn't enough, so he rebranded the entire company to Meta and tried to sell us all on the idea of the metaverse. Spoiler alert, it flopped harder than a fish out of water. People barely want to talk to their coworkers on Zoom. Who in their right mind wants to strap a VR headset to their face and pretend to be in a digital boardroom? Turns out nobody wants to live in an augmented reality where Zuckerberg is king. He also released the Meta Ray-Ban glasses, which are great for the POV industry. Love him or hate him, you can't deny that Mark Zuckerberg has had a massive impact on modern society. Thanks to him, your mom comments beautiful under every photo you post. Misinformation spreads faster than California wildfires. Your data is probably sitting on a server in Silicon Valley, waiting to be sold to the highest bidder. Attention spans have shrunk to the length of a TikTok video. And let's not forget, he made it possible for your ex to randomly pop up in your feed just when you were finally getting over them. And let's not ignore the fact that thanks to Zuckerberg, the line between reality and the internet has never been blurrier. He took the concept of connecting people and turned it into an international experiment on social decay. So what's next for Mark Zuckerberg? Will he finally upgrade his wardrobe beyond gray t-shirts? Will he continue his quest to digitize every aspect of our existence? Will that UFC fight ever happen between him and Elon Musk? Only time will tell. But one thing is for sure, as long as the internet exists, Mark Zuckerberg will be lurking in the background, harvesting data and plotting his next move. That's it for today's roast of Mark Zuckerberg, billionaire data miner and the closest thing we have to a real-life robot overlord. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Just know that Zuckerberg will probably know about it. Thanks for watching, and remember, if something is free, you are the product.